Welcome back to the Level 10 Leaders podcast, the show built for visionaries, integrators, and EOS-run teams who want to scale smarter and lead stronger. Today, I'm joined by Megan Long, founder of Second First, and someone who knows exactly what it takes to thrive as a second-in-command leader. In this episode, Megan and I dig into 3 game-changing insights. Why every business operating system needs the right software to actually run. Spoiler, software has a different meaning in this one. Why the best leaders learn to get comfortable with extreme discomfort and how that discomfort is a sign of growth. And why integrators more than visionaries often benefit the most from coaching in peer groups. We'll talk about the tools, the mindset shifts, and the frameworks that help turn the visionary integrator partnership into a real force multiplier. So grab your notebook, because whether you're sitting in the visionary seat or carrying the weight of the integrator role, you're about to walk away with practical insights you can put into play immediately. Let's dive in. Megan Long of Second in Command. It's so fantastic to have you on the Level 10 Leaders podcast. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah, we've had the opportunity to share some insights. Feels like we're very aligned in a lot of our thinking. You clearly do a lot of work with Second in Commands, that integrator, COO type role, as do we, at a slightly different level, but feels like we're very aligned in our thinking. So I feel like maybe I'll have to play devil's advocate in this episode a little bit, because otherwise we're just going to agree with each other the whole way through.
No, I love that. Absolutely. And I think that there's so much complementary work that you all do at Level 10 that takes Second First's work at our organization and just takes it to that next level and just amplifies the second in command or the integrator role through management. So I'm excited.
Outstanding. Okay, Megan, let us help our audience get to know you a little bit. I'm going to hit you with some fast fake questions.
Let's do it.
Are you a breakfast or dinner person?
Ooh, dinner. 100% dinner.
Okay. And are you a chef? Do you like making the dinner?
So, fun fact, I am a retired IFBB pro bodybuilder. So for 10 years, I was a broccoli and chicken breast person. So since retirement, I am enjoying a whole new world of recipes and butter and not going crazy, but just experiencing eating like a normal human. So
yeah, okay. You know how to do extreme diet. What you bodybuilders put your bodies through, and dedication to training and outcome is just phenomenal. So I'm sure some of those skills you've learned in that arena are deploying very well in business.
Well, the whole obsession with being competitive has now just gone into our programs at Second First and trying to always make them the best. So yeah, that's definitely not a mindset that you can completely shed.
Perfect. Okay. On holiday, are we likely to find you on a pool lounger with a good book or doing something adventurous like a bungee jump?
Definitely not jumping off of anything, but doing activities. I'm a city person. We even honeymooned in Seattle instead of the beach. So I definitely enjoy exploring and being active.
Okay. And what do you like to hit in cities?
Lots of concerts, big on music, big on just exploring museums. Like I forget what it's called now, but in Seattle, they had the pop culture museum that was super fun. So just seeing what different locations and cultures have to offer.
In Seattle, did you happen to do the underground tour?
We did. Yeah, that was so fun.
That?
Oh my gosh, amazing. Fascinating.
Absolutely. I think having been fortunate to travel to a lot of different countries and experience a lot of tourist activities, I think that is definitely in my top 5. I think it was awesome. So
yeah,
if anyone's listening,
fun.
Heading to Seattle, hit the underground tour. It's incredible.
Absolutely.
Okay. Megan, curious, when you are learning new things, what do you like to do? Are you a video? Are you audio? Do you like to read? Do you like an in-person immersion? What works for you?
Man, I am a big consumer of just books, podcasts, Harvard Business Review, all the things. But I would say probably books are my number one. It's gotten to the point where I'm forcing myself to move to Kindle now just because there's too many books in my office right now. But that's my love language. If anyone wants to give me a book for a present, that's definitely the way to my heart.
Okay. And do you read nonfiction and fiction?
Mostly nonfiction. So mostly business leadership, all of that. I'm trying to give my brain a little bit of a break and venture into fiction. So we'll see.
Oh, you crazy kid, you.
I live wildly, let me tell you.
You do. Yeah. Whoa. I read a fiction book. You're out there. Okay. Cats or dogs?
Cats. I've got 2 kitties. I do love dogs, but I think there's just, you have to earn a cat's love. And I think that's so cool.
What do they say? Cats have slaves and dogs have masters?
Oh, I haven't heard that, but I don't disagree.
Okay. Routine wise, are you an early riser or a night owl?
I'm an early riser. I like having those few hours in the morning to read or to exercise or do something. It feels like you have a whole part of the day that other people don't when you wake up early.
Totally. Before the crazy starts.
Yes, before the crazy starts, exactly. Before you open your inbox.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, if you were to consume some entertainment, like you were getting away from the nonfiction, maybe watching a movie, doing something else wild, what genre do you think you'd be watching?
Ooh, that's a good question. I can appreciate most genres. I do enjoy a good like thriller or drama. We're coming up on spooky season, which my husband and I do every year. We try and cram as many horror movies in the month of October as we possibly can. So that's another fun thing.
Okay, I think we've got some differences here. I'm happy to go and jump off things like skydiving and bungee jumping. Horror movies, no thanks. I'll
really
spend the whole night thinking, do I need to look under the bed and see if anyone's about to jump out?
Oh my gosh, that's fascinating. The only time that I struggle is when it's very realistic. So if it's just I don't know, if I have to think about, okay, how would I get out of this situation? I don't enjoy that. Okay. That's funny. We are very different.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, Megan, you've been in business and around business for a good period of time now. I'm sure you've got some good insights. You've worked with many second in commands now you've shaped and coached. Really interested to hear some of the insights that you've managed to garner through those experiences. Can you hit us with a kind of top 3 and then maybe we'll dig into those in some more detail?
Yeah, definitely. So I think you're right. I both was a COO and integrator for 10 years before founding Second First. So I think there's kind of 2 sides to these insights, I guess, that I've had. And so the first is I think that any operating system that you install in your business, whether it's EOS or scaling up or Pinnacle, any of these, they're a fantastic foundation, but they all benefit from the right software. And I'd love to kind of talk about what that means. The second is executive leaders must be comfortable with extreme discomfort. And that comes from a number of different directions. And then third, and this is a hot take, Ryan.
and then just literally taking 5 minutes to kind of go, hey, this is what we agreed. Are we still heading for this 1, 3, 10-year goal? Is everything we're doing values aligned? Are the rocks that we're looking to hit still the most relevant for this quarter? It always just helps us feel very aligned and on the same page. So I think that is how we're helping to execute that kind of idea of staying aligned with Visionary and Integrator as well. It's a goodie.
I'm glad you brought up the same page meeting as well, because I think that a lot of duos, the entrepreneur second in command, they meet, like you said, weekly, but it's very tactical. What's going on this week? What issues are happening? What do we need to solve right now? And that same page meeting, or at least a separate meeting that's only big picture, only high level, that's a game changer to have that discipline.
Yeah. And the one that I love in that meeting is when the next 15 ideas are brought up, is to bring up our rocks for the quarter and go, okay, which ones of these should we stop so we can do that?
Yep.
Very powerful question. And not always, and not that we're trying to prevent progress, but it's like, actually, there's a reason we set these rocks, 1, 2, 3 months ago, is because at that time with the data we had, we felt they were the most relevant things to move the organization forward. If they're no longer relevant, that's great, but let's not just keep running off and throwing new rocks in without considering whether they're better than the ones we're working on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, let's stop this. I keep agreeing with you. Okay, I think I'm going to put my visionary hat on and just be like, we don't need rocks. Just run with my good ideas.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Let's move to point number 2, and that was that executive leaders need to get very comfortable with being very uncomfortable. I'm not sure if that was quite the phraseology you used, but I think that was the center.
Yeah, the
extreme discomfort, maybe you said?
The extreme discomfort. Yes, definitely. A couple reasons that I say this. So first, and I'm sure you've seen this in your clients as well, but sometimes the best second in command or the best integrator actually comes from within the organization. I have seen some of the strongest COOs start as an executive assistant, or just absolute, like somewhere deep in the accountability chart that has just absolutely risen, and they utterly get it. And that's so uncomfortable to go that many levels up to now being number 2 on the org chart or accountability chart. The second is adopting a growth mindset is inherently going to be uncomfortable. And there's 2 models to this that we use, especially on the coaching side when we work one-on-one with a second in command or an integrator. And the first one is the Dunning-Kruger effect. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but okay, yes. So it's so subjective, but it's helpful for us. We always ask, on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate your mastery of the second in command role? And then on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate your partnership with your entrepreneur, with your visionary? And it's just for us to track. And then if it tanks, we know something happened. When we start a one-on-one coaching engagement, the how would you rate your mastery of the role is high. It is either a 4 or a 5 all the time. And as soon as we dig into the coaching, that number tanks. It goes down to like a 2, sometimes a 1, because you don't know what you don't know. And then you start to question your abilities. You start to think, oh, am I even in the right role? So there's a lot of discomfort that comes with growth. After a couple of months, we see that number start to take back up. So it's definitely a temporary low point. But the Dunning-Kruger model, that's typical. That's kind of that valley of despair, I think they call it. And then the second is flow zone. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. Anytime your challenge level is outpacing your skill level, it's going to feel like anxiety. So I think getting used to that phenomenon as well is just, it's just a sign of growth. And I think that anyone in an executive leader spot, if you don't feel some sort of anxiety or you don't feel some sort of self-doubt or what I call extreme discomfort, you have to question, am I growing? Am I challenging myself? Or maybe have I hit the ceiling of my own growth in the organization and now it's time to look outside the company's walls for that development.
Quick break. If you're serious about scaling your EOS business, listen up. Here's the truth. Most companies stall because their managers can't lead. We built a system to fix it. At Level 10 Leaders, we turn managers into leaders so you can step back, scale up, or sell with confidence. Here's a quick win. Take 3 minutes to get a data-driven report of your team's LMA, leadership, management, and accountability strength. Uncover your biggest growth gaps. Take the LMA quiz now at lvl10.us/LMA. It's fast and it'll show you exactly where your team is getting stuck. Let's get back into the podcast.
And Megan, how do you coach your members when they're in that moment of extreme discomfort? Maybe the anxiety is coming on. How do you suggest they deal with that in the moment?
If it comes up during a session, it's pulling up that visual model, definitely. So they realize, oh, this is what's happening. This isn't a me thing. This is just a known phenomenon where I'm just starting to doubt myself because I'm realizing there's a lot of things I don't know. I think from a personal standpoint, if you start to feel that, it's just a sign that you're growing. And I think it's a sign of it should be exciting because now there's this whole world of information that you can be learning and taking on and applying to your role to just continue getting better. I'm sure managers that you work with at level 10 feel this as well, where they see the syllabus or the curriculum or they start learning these new tools and it's almost overwhelming where you're like, oh, I thought I was killing it and I don't know that anymore, right?
As much as I'm trying to disagree with you here, Megan, I can't. We see that exact same phenomenon where we ask people to rate their leadership and management capability ahead of the program. And they're like, man, 4 or 5 stars. I'm awesome at everything.
I'm a rock star.
A rock star. I'm really, really good. And then we start digging into the real skills that you need to be executing every day. And those like, oh, okay. No, I'm not so good at that. And that's great. That's part of the journey, and it helps them rebuild back to a true 5-star where they really are executing. So,
Absolutely.
they're the exact same thing.
I mentioned at the beginning the bodybuilding thing, and I know that that's like utterly unrelatable for most people, and it's just like a bizarre niche sport. But you literally get on stage and ask for judges to tell you what is wrong with your physique. So
Disclaimer: Level 10 Leaders is an independent podcast and leadership development platform. It is not affiliated with, endorsed by, or sponsored by EOS Worldwide LLC. EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, Level 10 Meeting, and related trademarks are trademarks of EOS Worldwide and are used here for informational purposes only. Thanks for tuning in to Level 10 Leaders. If today's episode hit home, here's what you need to do. Take the LMA quiz. Go to lvl10.us/LMA. It's fast and reveals what's holding you back. Hit subscribe and share this with one person who needs to break through the ceiling and crush their growth goals. Stay tuned for the next episode where we'll show you exactly how to level up to level 10.